What's up? This is Nak3d Eli, the mostly unclothed gamer, here with our Crow's Nest zero-shot world record speedrun. It's the world record simply because no one else has been able to complete this mission with 0 shots fired. So this is legendary difficulty. I don't fire a single bullet throughout the entire mission, and obviously there are no deaths because that would be cheating. So we're going to move on forward here as quickly as possible to the action. You're going to see a lot of amazing use of grenades. Just simply you have to hit the frags and the plasmas if you're going to kill things at range, especially at the start of this mission and in the hangar. So coming in here, gonna pop a nade off the ground, take out the 3 grunts, move in while they're all together, get, what is that, like an overkill? I don't even know. And then right here I'm deciding whether or not, based on my health, whether I can move in or not for the kill. It's very deceptive with plasma weapons because your shields go down really fast, and on legendary they also kill you really fast. So right here I decided to go for it because I have my teammate with the battle rifle in his hand and I had a plasma, so I was ready to stick the largest group, and then luckily a few of them jumped out of the way. And this brute popped a bubble shield. So this gives me a great opportunity. Normally he's a pain in the butt to get to, but he's just going to let me come in. We're going to do a little bit of melee fighting. You notice how I back up after every hit because he does not get stunned by a plasma pistol. And now we have the brute shot, which is the strongest melee weapon in the game. I'm going to stick the jackal carbine, move straight on in. They're going to take my shields down really ridiculously fast. And then I'm going to try and wait for this to come back. He's not looking at me. It gives me the opportunity to come in. And then boom, boom, everything is toast. So a minute and a half in, we've cleared through and gotten to the hangar. Now normally this part's very difficult even when you can shoot because the enemies just pour in from the dropships. So I have a predetermined route here that allows me to take out the entire left side, save those Marines, and then come over here and take out the grunts before those Marines die as well. The more Marines you have, the more work they can do in killing the forces that are going to come through. Now I'm going to drop this deployable cover, which is going to allow me to focus the grunts on this side. I could move in without taking fire, and they were hanging around like idiots waiting to get pummeled right on the other side of it. So I'm going to take out all the grunts before the first ship even lands, and this is going to give me a huge advantage because I don't have to worry about them shooting from each side, and I'm going to have more Marines to destroy these guys. Now this is where the sticking becomes really, really important. I'm going to have to take out these brutes as quickly as possible or my entire force will be just depleted and they will just completely overrun me and I will have nothing to do. Right here, going to get another stick on his right thigh. That's going to take him out, and then I'm looking for some enemies that I can just punch without dying. You'll notice, since it's legendary, that you die in less than 2 seconds, sometimes less than 1 second if you're out of position. So you have to be extremely careful about where you're positioning yourself. And that just comes with practice, with understanding your limitations and just barely pushing them so that you can get the kill without dying. So right here I'm trying to position myself underneath. I know that this particular wave is going to drop a brute. So I come in, I stick him, and I love bubble shields on 0 shot because that allows me to get in safely. Now we're going to stick him. Notice just hitting all these plasmas spot on. Am I going to hit this guy? Of course I am. Boom. All those brutes taken out completely. This is going like clockwork. So this is actually going incredibly smoothly. Going to pop him almost through the wall, and then we have, I think this is the final wave. So it's just a matter of killing this group of enemies. Watch out for the needles. Don't want to get taken out when we've done when we've come this far. And you see him. He's got a brute shot. That thing kills you in 2 hits from full shield. He's going to pop the bubble, which means that I'm going to have a little bit more room to maneuver, to safely play around the edge of it. And what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Is he going to drop in? So I'm getting really low, and I'm a little worried. I actually pummel my teammate there with the back of the brute shot. I did not want to get hit by the brute dropping down since he was berserking, and I sort of freaked out. So sorry, Marine, but luckily we've made it through the fight, and we just have 3 more enemies here, or 4 rather, based on what I'm looking at on the radar. So you'd think that this would be really easy. You can just run up and punch them, but again, they will kill you really fast if you're not careful. So you still have to play it smart. You can't get cocky on 0 shot and just expect that you can waltz in, punch everything, and be completely fine. And so right here I see an opportunity to take out the jackal, and then I believe there's one little grunt left, so I'm going to position myself around so that I don't get blown up with needles. It only takes like 7 of those to completely kill you, so just be careful with those weapons. Now normally I like to get a bubble shield, but we will have to use this deployable cover, and we've cleared the hangar in under 5 minutes, which is really difficult to do. So I'm glad that that went so efficiently. You notice that this speedrun is super action-packed. Like a lot of speedruns are very slow off the start, or you're just trying to skip battles. In this mission, you have to fight literally everything to unlock the next section. So right here, I didn't see the Marine who's just sort of chilling there. So I'm going to give him a carbine, and I'm going to give a battle rifle to the other AI. What this is going to do is allow me to pass the drone section, which is, I thought it would be completely 100% impossible until I figured out a method of how to do it. I don't know if you remember the section where there's just dozens and dozens of drones pouring out of the walls, and you have to like use all your battle rifle ammo, and you have to hop on that turret and hope that you can take out enough of them without them swarming around you. Now, how do you do that without actually shooting them? I mean, we have a few grenades, but certainly not enough grenades to take out an entire legion of drones. So I found a little trick that you're gonna see right here that no one had ever seen before. And I practice a lot of different things here, but this is the craziest trick ever. If you sit under this staircase, it distracts the drones long enough that your teammates can kill them at a sufficient rate and survive while you distract. So I'm literally just gonna hug this staircase, and it looks like I'm doing nothing, right? And the AI are doing all the work. But you have to essentially tank the damage or distract, right? So if this were Halo 4, it'd be like distract metal, distract metal, distract metal, because that's all I'm literally doing. The drones are freaking out that Master Chief is hiding under a staircase right here, and they're not paying attention to all the other little Marines who I just gave battle rifles and carbines to, who are ripping their faces off. So this takes a while. There's just so many drones. But you have to keep distracting so that they don't kill your teammates. If your teammates die, it's literally impossible to get past this section. So as you've seen in other zero-shot runs, we are highly dependent on the performance of the AI. But unlike in Sierra 117, which was ridiculously random, this is very controlled. Every time I've done it, it's been successful, except for I believe in one practice run where the plasma pistol shots did focus one target at a time, and they did take out the AI before the AI were able to kill them. You have to be careful because once the numbers get low enough, they're going to actually move in on your position, much like this drone right here. So I'm looking around for him, waiting to see what he's going to do. And I start getting shot at from over here. So this is where I will deploy this deployable cover. And I'm going to use a frag, hit a couple of them, and then I'm going to try and use my other grenades to take them out. You don't want to run out there and just get lit up. You still have the deployable cover, you remember, that's going to come back. So now I'm looking around. Everything looks to be pretty much dead. And the section that everyone thought was impossible on Zero Shot has now been completed. So we move on to Gift with Purchase. In some people's opinion, this is the hardest fight in the entire game. This is where it's just an entire room multi-layered with brutes, and a brute chieftain popping in, and tons of carbines, brute shots, spikers, everything. So we have a little trick. We're going to come up here, pop him. That's going to take some of the aggro off. And then we're going to move in, pop him. That's going to distract him. Move into the corner. And then while we're isolating ourselves from the rest of the fight, get the invincibility, grab the gravity hammer, move in here, use the invincibility, move these guys out of your way with the gravity hammer, and then simply drop down, and we avoid that entire fight. Now that looked really risky, and it is really risky. I'd say it has like a 50% success rate. Right here, I accidentally get hit with a drone, and that's going to cause him to actually come at me. I luckily get this stick and barely survived, freaking out here because I just had such a great start. Got past the chieftain, no problem. I don't want to get killed by a couple stupid grunts in a sewer, right? That's not what I want to do. So I decide, you know what, I'm going to take it easy here. And then, of course, I start getting shot at, so I figure I can drop down before all these guys pop out to kill me. Now we're going to move directly in. In some speedruns, you've seen that you can use a deployable cover and hammer to get to the next section quicker, but A, that would be impossible to do on zero shot, like to clear out that section alone without your Marines, and B, it's extremely risky. So I wouldn't count on it, especially with how hard it is to get to this part of the mission on a zero shot run. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the Arbiter, since he's an invincible AI, as well as our teammate right here chilling with him, to clear out as many of these guys as possible. I love it when they throw grenades, because grenades do a ton of damage to their brute shields, which do not regenerate like every other AI in every other Halo game. The brute shields are on a one linear path straight down to non-existent. So you just keep doing damage to them slowly over time. It will not regenerate, and you'll be able to kill them easily just with a melee. So I'm moving up here to try and take out the two jackals, because if you move up on the bottom, they'll just completely destroy you. So while I come over here to kill them, it turns out they're already dead, and that red dot on the radar is just the brutes down there moving at the angry Arbiter, who's coming in and destroying face. So a good combo is to have him with his plasma rifles and then have the AI throwing frags. It's a great combo for taking out enemies. If I had a rifle, I could give it to him as well. But you don't want to be too dangerous and get yourself killed trying to swap weapons with one of your AI. This is a very dangerous section. So I don't know if you guys knew that these rafters up here existed, but you can move in here and use this to locate enemies and see what they're up to. So he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and just waiting for the Arbiter to move in. If you move forward, typically your AI will move forward. And as you've seen in CR117, it's very important that they're in the right positions and helping you at the right times, and that they don't die because you went too far forward or you just sat back, right? So now this is a part that's somewhat risky. I decided that I could come in here. He has the radar jammer going, so I don't know exactly where everything is, but I know if I come in here, pop him, and stick him, I can typically kill him. And then I have a flare. I'm going to get rid of that. It's going to get real bright real fast. And that's the most useless piece of equipment in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure the AI don't get blinded. They just shoot and kill you while that's activated. So just hang out behind here, essentially, if you want to use it. So using the hammer to make sure that I kill him quickly if his teammate was to move in. But instead we have the Arbiter and team coming in. They're doing great work. That little Marine going ham, still completely alive. And now this corner is where we find more Marines, and we have the Arbiter popping out his shield. So there's a back door that can let us into this fight, and this is going to be hugely important. I throw a sticky, take down the carbine. That's huge so that he doesn't hit Arbiter in the face and take him out when his shields are low. Now a couple of these guys like to move in. Unfortunately, they don't die, so I just want to make sure that you take out both of them with the hammer as soon as possible, especially the gold captain. He takes a lot of damage before going down. Now this is one of the hardest fights to get through. Right there, he has the chieftain with a plasma turret. You can't kill him. There's like no easy way. If you try to run up to him, he'll rip you to pieces in half a second, and he has teammates around him. If you throw frags, he'll just back up and regen his shields. So really, you have to wait for him to be hugely out of position, or let the Arbiter get extremely aggressive on him. Or hope that your teammates stop hiding behind boxes and actually throw grenades and do things. So we're just going to wait it out, continue to move around, which sometimes jogs your AI's memory and reminds them that you're in a fight and that you need their help. So luckily, the frags and Arbiter are going to take out the chieftain, which is exactly what we wanted. And now it's just a matter of killing the jackals on the top and the other brutes who are in the room, which your AI at this point should be able to do rather well. And you see they are just going in, destroying everything. So I'm looking around now for some weapons to see what I can give to my AI. So I'll speed this up just because all I'm doing is weapon swapping. I realized that the next section, you remember, it has all the jetpack brutes and a ton of brutes pouring in from the sides. So if you give your teammates plasma weapons that take their shields off and headshot weapons like a carbine, then they do a fantastic job. So again, this is just utilizing your AI, weapon swapping. You're not shooting a single bullet yourself, but you're equipping your teammates appropriately. Now check this out. Before the elevator opens, we're going to jump over here, pop up on the box, and then go onto the Pelican before it leaves the landing. So if you wait for the elevator, you can't make it in time. But doing this method, we get up here and then check this out. We're going to jump off the wing, come up here, don't stay on it or else you'll die. Come in here, grab the invisibility or cloaking as it's called. Come to the back, and then we're going to be able to back smack some of these jetpack brutes before they take off. And this is going to hugely turn the fight in our favor. So I got 3 out of 6 right there. Sometimes you can get a few more, but you don't want to risk it. You don't want to put yourself at the front lines because they'll, as you saw, just turn around and possibly kill you. So now you see, did you see how fast that guy's shields came off and how fast my teammates carbined him in the dome? You know, these guys are ready to do work. This is so much more efficient than if they had just like plasma pistol or assault rifles and SMGs, right? Like the plasmas doing work on the shields, carbines ripping them in the heads, and that's how you clean up the entire brute section like it's a piece of cake. So I want the other camo, which is very much needed for the next part of the mission. And then I'm going to move up here and just make sure that everything is dead. Look around, like, okay, where's the last brute? Because when you kill everything, there's a pelican that drops. And there's no pelican coming. So I'm a little worried here. And this is where the speed run just goes completely dry. This is where I could have set a ridiculously fast time, and instead I just, it was, you know, it's still a relatively fast time, but instead it's not what I would say like perfect or super fast material. And this is really unfortunate because I was having such a great run up to this point. But again, you can't control these factors. So eventually we find him. Look where he is. He's hiding down here in the basin. And that's what's going to delay the game by like a full minute and a half. So at this point, I'm like, okay, if someone wanted to replicate this, even though it's extremely difficult, they could beat my time. So I'm just going to focus on actually completing the mission. I'm going to wait here, not try to rush through the drones, which I wouldn't normally do anyways, but it is possible if you put your frags in the right places. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn around and see if I can find any grenades on the ground, anything else that can help me with the final section. Simply because we've gotten this far. As you saw, the mission has been incredibly intense up to this point. And so I want to be positive that I have enough weaponry and ammo to take out the final brute chieftain with a fuel rod cannon. I had made it once there before in a real run, and then he completely blew me up, and I was really, really sad. So right here, I'm just like, okay, I can't find any grenades. Let's just move on to the final section using the frags, and all the jackals dodged it. So now I'm like, okay, that's not good. You see the impact that missing one frag has on your experience is now they have 3 guys who can rip me to shreds and who aren't really easy to melee because they have their shields up. So I need to play this very intelligently, and let's see what I do here. So I'm going to hang out, wait for him to throw that. I'm going to kill one of the jackals, and then I'm going to hang out a little bit longer and just survey, see what's going on. Oh, did I kill 2 of them? Nope, see, I only killed one of the jackals, but I thought I killed 2 of them. So I move up here, I'm at the mercy of these guys. Imagine getting this far, and then all that jackal had to do was just poke around the corner and shoot at me, and I would have been dead. So I'm like, Jesus, I've come this far. I'm not going to let a couple measly little jackals stop me from completing this mission. So here we go. I've got the hammer. I'm going to wait for my shields to regen. And now I'm going to go man mode. So here we go. Wait for him to pop that. Try and bait it. There we go. And then kill him. And then that causes this huge tank to explode over. And I have nothing to hide behind. So I had to move back a little bit more. Wait for full shields. And he's out in the middle of the open. So I'm like, okay, I really need this grenade for the final fuel rod chieftain. So let's go this way. He wasn't even looking in that direction. And then that pops the warthog, which almost causes the grunt turret to destroy me. So luckily I hid right there, got my shields back, popped the camo, and now we're going to bypass this entire section, which includes the 2 beam rifles that are sitting up here. The beam rifle sniper jackals up on that ledge are not going to be able to shoot at me because I'm going to dodge their angle of fire, and boom, we've made it to the final boss battle with the fuel rod chieftain. He's got all of his main guys here. See, they're just looking at him. They don't even know I'm here. That's why I saved that grenade. I needed that to stick at least one of those 2 brute captains or whatever they're called, who are guarding the fuel rod chieftain. And now this is very, very difficult. Some of these guys can, if they want, come and just run into that door. And that's actually happened to me in practice runs where I'll just be chilling here, and then all of a sudden I'll just start getting grenaded and shot from behind, and then I'll just die. And so here we have an opportunity. This guy got really, really close. He wasted some time throwing that grenade, misses it, and that's going to give me the perfect opportunity to move in. So I saw he had a regen. I'm going to pop this deployable cover just to safeguard myself against any grunts from the back, get the regen, and now I have 1 more sticky and a couple stickies over here for any enemies that are left. So let's look around, make sure that everything is dead, and then boom, now the fuel rod chieftain's real angry. So as soon as you move up too much, he's just going to come in and try and kill you. I missed the grenade, missed 2 grenades, and now I need to wait for this grunt to come up. And don't get stuck by him, and do not get hit by fuel rods. 1 shot from a fuel rod, you're toast, you're dead. This grunt, not paying attention, has no idea what's going on. So now I see him moving up, so check this out. I was ready to dodge a few shots, but he decided to be a monkey and climb up on that. So if you come down here, you cause him to move over and jump down onto the staircase, giving you a very easy backsmack, 3, 2, 1, dead. So there goes the fuel rod chieftain, the biggest threat at the end of the mission. Now we can just move to the right to dodge fire from that turret up there, and as soon as you hit the bomb, you book it, and you never look back. We're going to move. There's a ton of grunts in this next section who sometimes actually shoot at you. So it's like it happens maybe 5% of the time. So you just hope and pray, fingers crossed, that they just keep running around screaming their guts out and that they don't actually try and attack you. So I get through there. 1 final Cortana slowdown. And then we're going to move on to the drone section. Now, here's a part where you can start to butterfly the drones. And you can jump up and down with them to have them carry you across this section. Unfortunately, I do screw up just a little bit, and that grunt causes all of those drones to move out of the way, so I couldn't butterfly. So I just pop the regen, start jumping, heart rate going insane here, just freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, go, go, go. And I friggin' made it, just completely past the drone section. And oh, we have another Cortana slowdown. Okay, I get it, girl. I get it, girl. Everything's breaking, everything's exploding, and you feel the need to talk to me. I understand. It's stressful for me too. And so now we're going to move on, and there's a very specific route you take here to disengage all the enemies. If you go down bottom mid, then they're all going to be hanging out on the right side. You move in through here to dodge the ones in front of this crate. You move directly into here. Sometimes he's not there, and it doesn't matter because he's just freaking out by the explosions anyways. And boom, you get into the elevator, and you can still get stuck through there, so be careful. But that should be it. Once you see the fire, that's the end of the mission. So that is Crow's Nest on 0 shot. Extremely difficult, but we made it through in a little bit over 26 minutes. 26:03 is the time. So we have next Covenant 0 shot on the left. That'll be uploaded soon. And if you want to check out my Breaking Halo 4 on the multiplayer spawn system, click on the video on the right. This is Nak3d Eli. Subscribe for more, and thank you so much for watching.